Hey guys, and welcome to my quest guide for the 2023 Members Quest Dead and Buried. So onto the requirements, you will need to have completed the quests Unwelcome Guests, Murder on the Border and New Foundations. There are no skills required unless you're on an Iron Man account. In that case you will need 50 construction, 50 woodcutting, 10 mining and 12 crafting. Items required, you need 6 stone wall segments, which require 24 limestone bricks to make, 14 Acacia frames, which need 168 Acacia planks to make, combat equipment and food, and a Farrock teleport, which I will be using one to the Grand Exchange during the quest. Enemies to defeat, there are 3 material ghouls, 22 the nightmares, and 10 fetid zombies, all of which will scale to your combat level. So on to starting the quest. So the start of the quest is in Fort Forinthry. You need to go to the guardhouse in the southwestern corner and just outside speak to the raptor. Choose option 1, talk about dead and buried, and then accept quest. Hold down spacebar and go through the chat. And then head over to the town hall in the north side and click on the blue portal. Choose option 1, yes. When you get control, go ahead and speak to the Herald of Farrock, just on the east side of the room. Choose any option. Keep going through the chat. Choose any option once again. After a minute, you will be pulled over to speak to Overseer Civ. Just keep going through the chat. You head into another little cutscene chat where it's kind of like an interview. So just go through the chat once again. Choose any option once again. Once you've gone through the chat, you're going to choose option 4, conclude interview. And then option 1, yes, I've asked enough questions. Once you've finished with the cutscene interview, go over to the workshop just to the west and speak to Bill. Choose option 1, talk about dead and buried. If you just ask him how he is, you might need to click on him twice to speak to him and get the option. But then go through his chat. And once you're done talking, you're going to click on the blueprint table and select the Ranger's Workroom Tier 1. That will use up your Acacia frames and stone wall segments. And now we're going to build the Ranger's Workroom. That is just south of where you stood, in the southwest corner next to the guard room. So there are 4 construction hotspots, and we're just going to do the same as we usually do and choose the glowing yellow one, the optimal construction spot, to make it as quick as possible. Now, as on the previous quests, I'm going to leave the building in so you can follow along with the quest, and I'm just going to stay silent while we are doing the building section. So once the workroom is fully built, you'll be able to speak to Guard Captain Sophia, who is stood in the newly built workroom. Go through the chat with them. And then just to the north, go ahead and speak to the raptor once again. Choose option 1, talk about dead and buried. And all they will say is meet me at the crypt north of here. So head north and out of the gates. Keep running slightly north to the dungeon entrance you can see on the map. Choose the blue portal just outside the crypt. Choose option 1, yes. Head west into the room and speak to the raptor. And then head into the western room. And once in here, you will see some spooky holes. You need to search them to collect 6 materials. There are 2 right in the southwest, 1 in the center, 1 just northwest of that, 1 on the northern wall, and 1 on the northeastern wall. Once you've collected all those, you'll have 3 left to find, and then you will see that there are 3 material ghouls that have spawned, so go ahead and kill these for the last 3 materials that you need. Once you've done that, head back over to the raptor, and then we need to build the bridge over the lava just to the south of where the raptor stood. Cross the bridge, and then investigate the ancient door just to the south. Now you'll be able to switch between yourself and the raptor from this point. So go ahead and click on one of the 2 pillars, either to the east or the west of the door. Then click on the raptor to switch to the raptor and use them to push the other pillar on the other side of the door. Search the ancient door. You'll get a dragonkin device, and then speak to the raptor again. So once you've shown the device, we need to teleport to a Farrock. We're going to head to the Farrock library. Now, I'm using the Grand Exchange teleports, but you can use any of the teleports to Farrock, and we're going to head to the library inside the castle. Head inside the castle. The library is the northern room on the ground floor. You'll see a portal just outside the doorway like we have before. Click to continue dead and buried. Choose option 1, yes. Once you get in, go ahead and speak to Reldo and go through his chat. After you've finished talking, he will give you a potion of dreamless sleep. Go ahead and drink the potion he gave you. Go through a little bit of chat with him. And then inspect the dragonkin device and choose option 1, enter dream. So now we've got some puzzles to do. Now the goal for these is to stand on all the pressure plates or use boulders to press some of the pressure plates. And you can switch between yourself and the raptor. So the first one is straightforward and easy. You go ahead and stand on one of the pressure plates and switch to Raptor to stand on the other one. That'll unlock one of the boulders. Now you can push and pull the boulder with yourself or with the Raptor. Now if you're going to pull it, you can pull it 1 square at a time with yourself and 1 square at a time with the Raptor. But to push, if you're your own character, you can push it by 1 square, but Raptor can push it by 5 squares. So you need to pull this boulder just north to boulder puzzle number 2. So go ahead and pull it out of the area where you found it. And then the fastest way to do this will be to switch to Raptor and push it north. And when you get close, you can use your own character to push the last couple of squares onto one of the pressure plates. Doesn't matter which pressure plate it is. Usually the westernmost one is the easiest to get to. And once that's on there, you can stand Raptor on one of the other pressure plates and then your own character on the final one. And that will open the next boulder. Once it's open, head in and pull the next boulder out. As you can see, the third puzzle is just to the north. So go ahead and push 2 of the boulders onto 2 of the pressure plates. And then you can stand the Raptor on one of the other pressure plates, and once the 2 boulders are on, stand your character on the final pressure plate. And once all 4 pressure plates are pressed, that will open the next gate. You will get a little cutscene first, before you can move on to the next puzzle. So this time you're going to head north and slightly west. You can take the 2 previous boulders with you. They are stuck there. But you don't need them for the next one. When you get to the next one, you can see there are 6 pressure plates. So go ahead and bring Raptor up as well. Now the 2 westernmost pressure plates will spawn a boulder. But if you come off it, the boulder will disappear until it's in place. So stand one of the characters on one of the 2 pressure plates, and then use your other character to push that boulder onto one of the 4 pressure plates that are closest to the gate. And you can stand on the other western pressure plate and switch characters and push the second boulder onto one of the easternmost pressure plates. Then the final 2 will just be your 2 characters. Go through the cutscene, and then we're going to move on to the next puzzle. So for the next puzzle, you're going to head through and place yourself on the first pressure plate you come to, the westernmost one. That will make a boulder appear just to the north. Then go ahead and use Raptor to pull that boulder round to another pressure plate. Now, as you're bringing this boulder around, there will be a little bit of a skip in the video where I made a mistake, but the solution for this one, you need to place the boulder on the first pressure plate, the one where your character is stood to make the boulder spawn. And then you will need one of your characters on the second pressure plate and one of your characters on the third pressure plate. So the final easternmost pressure plate doesn't need anyone stood on it. You'll see with the boulder on the first pressure plate, the westernmost one, then your character on the second one, and the other character on the third one, and it will take you into a cutscene. So to open the final barrier, after a little bit of trial and error, you need to have the first two pressure plates pressed, the westernmost two. So you need to have the boulder on one of them and a character on the other, and that will spawn a second boulder just southwest. Go ahead and push that on one of the other pressure plates that are available. And then once that's in place, go ahead and set your character on the final pressure plate, so all four are pressed. Once all four are pressed, you'll get another cutscene. Once you've got control, you're going to run south to the burning house. Once you get close, it will start a cutscene. Hold spacebar and go through the chat. Keep going through the chat with the raptor and just go through each of the chat options. Doesn't matter which order you do them in, just make sure you go through every single one. Once you've got control again, fix your camera to the right way, and then slightly north of where you stood, you will see a dim light. Go ahead and interact with that. It looks like a little bit of smoke on the floor directly north of where you're standing. And once you interact with it, 3 nightmares will appear, so you need to attack these with your own character and lower the health. And when they've got low health, switch to the raptor to finish them off. So do that with each of them, switch back into between your own character to lower the health, and then choosing the raptor to finish the kill. Once you've done that, interact with the pillar of light, and then talk with the character that appears. Then once you've finished speaking, head east, work your way around to the next section, and we're just going to repeat what we did there. So once you get round to the next section, interact with the dim light again, and then You need to get rid of the nightmares in the same way, lowering the health with your own character and then switching to the raptor to finish off the kill. Once they're gone, interact with the pillar of light and speak to the character that appears. Once you're done, run north and then west to the next section, and then we're going to do the same thing once again. So, interact with the dim light. Use your character to lower the health of the nightmares, and then switch to the raptor to finish the kill. Once they're all gone, interact with the pillar of light and talk to the raptor. And then go ahead and read the ancient writings that appeared to the north. You will spawn back in the library in Farok. Go ahead and talk to the raptor again and go through the chat. And then we need to head back to the crypt in the wilderness. So go ahead and home teleport to Fort Ferintry. Head through the fort and out the northern gates. When you get to the crypt, go ahead and click on the blue portal to continue the quest. Go ahead and run slightly west and south back down to the ancient door. And click to enter the ancient door. Go through the chat. Head west and then north to the center of the room and investigate the map table. So once you've gone through the chat, you will realize there are pieces missing. And to get these, you need to kill 10 fetid zombies from around the room. Now these are spread out into the 4 corners, with 3 in each area. So I just ran southwest first, killed the 3 fetid zombies there. And make sure you pick up any map pieces that fall to the floor. And head round to another section. And then just keep working your way around, killing any fetid zombies you find until you've got all 10 of the map pieces. So once you've got all 10 pieces done, we're going to have to be doing the puzzle on the map table. And it is a sliding puzzle, the same idea as the ones you get during clue scrolls. Now, each person is slightly different, so you can't just follow along with how I do it. So I will put the solution on the screen as well as a recommended way to solve the puzzle. You can talk to the raptor after you've added the pieces and toggle accessibility mode on, which means when a piece is in the right place, it will glow an orange colour. So I'll put the solution up on the screen now. And then all you have to do is try and match up your pieces with the solution I've put on screen. Now I've put a hint from the wiki on the best way to solve these puzzles. So if you solve the top row first, then the second, and then the third, and then work from left to right, doing 2 pieces at a time, and then the final 6 in the bottom right corner is the easiest way to do this. Now, if it does take longer, it took me about 11 minutes to do, so it does take longer. Unfortunately, you have to pause the video till you get it in the right place. But if you were faster than me, then skip to 41 minutes and 17 seconds, and that is where I complete the puzzle and we can move on with the quest there. So once you've got the final pieces of the map in place, puzzle is complete. The whole thing will show orange if you have accessibility mode on. And once it's done, make sure you go through the chat with the raptor. Make sure you go through it all. You won't be able to move on if you don't. You will get a little bit of a pause before you carry on speaking. And once it's done, you're going to head south to the exit. And we're going to head back to Fort Three. You can just teleport out if you don't want to run. But it's not that far away, so if you want to run out and south through the northern gates, that's fine. Head into the command center, which is in the southeastern corner. Go ahead and speak to Overseer Civ. Choose option 2, talk about dead and buried. And go through the chat with her. Then go out of the command center and go west and speak to the raptor. Choose option 1, talk about dead and buried, and go through the chat. And that is quest complete. So for completing this, you will get a quest point, a construction XP lamp with 8,000 XP, a prismatic XP lamp with 3,000 XP, the ability to build all 3 tiers of the ranger's workroom, and 2 treasure hunter keys. So that's quest complete and well done.